Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at episode 5 of Juni Taisen, the Zodiac Wars. Now, very interestingly, there's a lot of cool things about this week's episode. So, our main thing is we're focusing on the old man, aka the sheep of the group. But also I want to kind of talk about really fast the beginning, which is very interesting to see the group that's in charge of the game, the Juni Taisen essentially. And what's interesting about them is they clearly don't care. They just want to place bets on people. They want to see who wins, and they want to see what happens in the kind of end game of everything. But at the same token, we do find out one other piece of clever information, and we find it out a little bit later too as well, that the old man, aka the sheep, is actually a survivor of a past Juni Taisen game. So he's going into this game already kind of knowing how the mechanics work to a certain degree, and that was interesting alone as it is. What we get from the rest of it is we start seeing how the old man is kind of already debating and kind of using his mind to figure out what he's going to do next. As we learned in his backstory, he was apparently a young man that was always on the battlefield. He knew how to manipulate the battlefield to kind of win in his favor. He would be able to deceive others and kind of trick them into thinking, oh, everything's okay, and then, either blow them up or kill them somehow. So he was a master tactician of sorts, which is a skill we see already kind of being used in this game currently too. Now, apparently, I'm going to presume, this is a presumption, mind you, but you know how everyone gets a wish at the end of the Juni Taisen? I want to say that he wished for a family, because, we see that apparently later in life, obviously, he gets a family, gets a grandson, he gets, it looks like a son in general, but the thing is that the reason why he's even currently in the new Juni Taisen game is because his grandson, who is basically a little kid, was going to be a next participant in the Juni Taisen, and he's like, no, that's not happening. I'm not letting him go into the battle. I'll take his place and act as, the surrogate instead. So, that was interesting alone. So I kind of understand why he would want to participate in this one, because you would almost wonder, why would he even go back to a game unless he really loves it that much? But yeah, they kind of I think they did that on purpose to use him as an element of, oh, let's have one of the best survivors go out into the game and kind of mix things up a little bit. Because I know for a fact they were not figuring a little kid was going to end up on the battlefield of the Juni Taisen. I know that they played that really well, so that was interesting. Was also interesting is seeing that, so everyone we know was took that little pill in the beginning, or the crystal I should say, and swallowed that because that's their poison, that's their kind of time constraint, so they have to kind of maneuver around, they can't just stay still and just hope the war ends. Not the old man though, the old man actually hid that thing. He looked like he swallowed it, but he hid it inside of his beard, and he's planning to even use that concept to trick others into thinking, oh, I have an ability to manipulate motion and all this other stuff to remove that from you without you being in pain. So this way you won't be on that time constraint either. You don't have to worry about the little poison, etc. But he really can't do that, obviously. And that's very interesting. This guy clearly is already thinking 20 steps ahead, and he already has apparently this bomb he created that apparently could have wiped out everyone in the room in the very beginning, and he was planning to use that, but he couldn't activate it in time before they were interrupted. So that was interesting. But he was almost stopped at one point because Ox had found his location, but luckily he was able to kind of get away. And what he runs into in the process is Tiger, who I completely forgot existed in this thing. So some of these characters just came out of the field. You have Tiger in the bottom, basically just laying it up. She's getting drunk. She's not even paying attention to this game, it seems like. But, even though the old man was quiet, she's like, I hear you back there, old man. Come on, just talk to me. I'm like, oh, she maybe has some skills that he thinks that she's basically a not contender for this, but maybe she's better than he thinks she is. That's gonna be interesting. Meanwhile, on the flip side of things, we have Monkey and Rat dealing with obviously the bunny and the headless corpse of, I forgot who that is off the time. I'm gonna presume that's a dragon. I'm gonna presume that because the fire thing. But what was very interesting about that is we learned that the headless corpse is actually able to manipulate feelings of the ground, so vibrations, because he can't hear. And Rat's wondering, how is he chasing me and following me, but he can't see anything or hear anything? And it's like you see that he puts his hand on the ground, and when an alarm goes off, he doesn't hear it. But when he moves slightly, he's like right away able to shoot at him with the flamethrower. So, it's gonna be interesting. I'm wondering who's gonna win this game. It's like I have a feeling that Monkey's gonna definitely be there, and Ox will probably be at the end too somehow. But you almost think that maybe this show will throw some curveballs in it and make it so it's not so obvious, and I'm curious about that. I've asked already, who do you think is going to win? I've noticed a lot of people saying Ox, so yeah, I think only like 2 people sided me saying Monkey also, but thank you to those people that sided me. I'm telling you, Monkey's probably going to win. I have a feeling of it. Now, I'm going to ask this week, who's your favorite character so far from the group that we've had? You know, obviously some characters haven't really gotten some time to shine, but, you know, tell me what characters so far that you have seen are your favorites. I would love to know from you guys in the comments below. Anyways, happy Halloween, by the way, everyone. I have 2 other reviews, and by the way, I'm saying that every video because I do have like 3 other videos today. I have Food Wars coming up, probably not next, but probably after, probably maybe 4 o'clock around that. And I have Fate Apocrypha, which just released as of me watching, or as of me reviewing this, so I'll have that up to you guys probably within an hour. I'll talk to you guys later. Anyways, have a great, blessed day, everyone. God bless you all. Bye-bye, everyone.